Hello everyone and welcome back to this edition of the Rich Payne Show talking Cape Central Tigers football. I am Vince Brown alongside with me third-year coach Rich Payne. Welcome back.
Thanks, Vince.
A world-famous poet said at one time, these are the times that try young men's souls. And none more trying than a tough 21-0 loss against Sykeston. But we knew going in it was going to be a tough battle, and Sykeston was, in the words of Dennis Green, exactly who we thought they were.
Yeah, and we didn't play exceptionally well. We blew a lot of assignments and didn't take care of some of our own business. And made them have some opportunities that we did better on at times. But they're a good ball club. They're exceptionally fast. And I would say the trying times try old men's souls too.
Mm-hmm. and despite the fact that you had one of your worst offensive outputs of the year, just 96 total yards of offense, 77 of that. On the ground. What I thought was very telling was the fact that the defense did not give up.
No,
at all. I mean, they did something this past Thursday no one else has done to Sykeston this year that shut them out in the second half.
Well, and I would say also too, if you take away the first drive, which we weren't ready for, and they did some nice things. And then you take away the long pass to Hatchet, down the middle. We prep for. We held them pretty good. We did some awful nice things, and we created our own opportunities in the second half with 2 interceptions, and we settled down and played fundamentally better in the second half. And midway between, that long pass took place with about 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go in the first half. So at that particular time, it's 13-0. So, with that being said, and we didn't take advantage of our opportunities. A lot of it goes back to, you've heard me say it before, but, missed alignments and misassignments will get you beat more often than mismatches. And more times than not, if you look at that contest, it was missed assignments and missed opportunities by our ball club.
But take nothing away from Sykeston. I mean, we're talking about 2 of the top teams among big schools in Southeast Missouri of any of the bigger classes. And the crowd didn't disappoint. I mean, almost 11,000 people. So you had the opportunity to really show folk what this team is made of. And I think you did a lot of it in the second half, although the 3 early touchdowns really didn't help matters. But you've got some building blocks for this coming week against Perryville.
Well, I think, we didn't execute the way we wanted to, the kids or myself. But at the same time, I think our fans and their fans got a good showing. I mean, it was a good ball game. I guarantee you, Friday morning there was a whole lot of sore bodies, in Sykeston and Cape Girardeau of kids that played the game hard. And granted, we didn't move the ball very well offensively, and defensively we gave up more than we should have. But at the same time, I think the contest was a good contest for fans to watch.
And with all the chest thumping and everything that went on the blogosphere, I think the one thing that was missed about this was a good, clean game.
Well, I think there's a lot of mutual respect. I mean, we've went against each other in contact camp. We played against each other in 7-on-7. Kit Gibbs and I are good friends. And, we have a mutual respect with our coaching staff, among our coaching staff, and at the same time. But with that being said, when it comes time to play, it's time to play, and put the chips on the table and let's let them roll and see where we're going. So, but I think with that, the concept and the idea of sportsmanship and those things, play hard between the whistles, as well, was well done by all parties.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the 10th and final week of the regular season. Still an opportunity for Cape Central to get into their first playoff berth since 2006. they're going to need a little help from their friends from Sykeston. We'll break everything down in just a moment. This is the Rich Payne Show on Prepcast Southeast. Here on Prepcast Southeast, you're watching the Rich Payne Show. Talking Cape Central Tigers football. Vince Brown alongside Coach Rich Payne. All right, 10th and final week of the season, a short week for the Tigers. Thursday night game at Perryville, and everybody has, in one way or another, had their success against the Pirates, who are down a bit this year. But this is by no means any time to slack up a bit, especially with a state playoff berth on the line. The Tigers take care of business and hope that Sykeston just beats Farmington. Both Sykeston and Cape Central in the playoffs. As simple as that.
Yeah, and like I've told the kids all week long, I've preached it and put it in their heads. We can only, in life, and this is a great life lesson, Vince, we can only control what we can control. We cannot control what's happening in Farmington between those two ball clubs, but we can take care of our business. And our business is to go play hard against Perryville and hopefully come out of there with a win and lay it on the line. And the other piece of this puzzle that I've thrown out to the seniors, in theory, this could be their last ball game. If things don't fall right in Farmington, our senior ball club could be done. Hopefully that's not the case, but you've got to look at all the scenarios and all the possibilities. So I've told them, you better be ready to lay it on the line, and you better be ready to get after it. And I believe they will. We've had 2 good days of very good practice. I gave the kids off the weekend. I told them they need to get away from football a little bit, and his coaches got away from it for a little bit. They cranked back up Monday when he came into school. Had a good practice on Monday, nothing exceptional. But yesterday was an exceptional practice. And I think, their focus will be there come Thursday night.
And it's interesting that when you took the job in 2008, we had a cadre of sophomores who are now seniors this year that took their lumps over the 2 years. They were 1-19 during that campaign. Of course, the one win coming at homecoming in 08 against Seckman. But this team refuses to give up. I mean, they've played 4 quarters almost every game that they've been out there. And the dividends have been paying off this year with an 8-1 record. One of the biggest turnarounds, I think, ever in this program's history, if not the state of Missouri. And the seniors and the juniors right behind them need to be commended for what has been a great season so far.
Well, I think collectively, it has been, a good season. But, like I've told the kids, we're not done yet. And so we've got to get prepared for Thursday night and make sure we're ready to go because, and it's a great group of seniors. Will I miss them when they're done? You think I'm right, I'll miss them when they're done. But I think they have gone a long, long way of setting the stage for the future. And we're not done with this season yet, but they've gone a long way with setting the stage for the future. Also, you look at how many years can you think that, we put 10,000 in the stands versus Jackson, we put 11,000 in the stands versus Sykeston. We have a great crowd in Obion County, and for us to be 8-1 and play that ball game at 8-0 between 8-0 and Sykeston, those are milestones that they should be proud of. They should be exceptionally proud of as a group of kids.
And not only that, your first state-ranked team in your short run, and that's a lot to be proud of. And that having been said, let's look inside the actual numbers themselves. This team has an opportunity to crack the 3,000 yard rushing mark in a season for the first time in program history. Another 200-plus yard effort that way, they eclipsed that. And despite the fact that you gave up 21 points last week, you're still only 12 points per game on defense, and that's still one of the best in the area.
And those are great things. And those are I don't look at statistics. I'm glad you do though, Vince, because those kind of keep me up to speed on things. But more than anything, I think we need to come out and play the game the way we played all year. And not reflect back on what happened last week and reflect forward on what's going to happen. Because I really, really think if we can get the opportunity to play on, And then it becomes a one-game shot between anybody and everybody that you play in the playoff system. It's a one-game, four-quarter opportunity for both ball clubs. Loser goes home, winner goes on. And that's the way it plays out.
You know, having looked at the district system for what it is, especially with the changes that were made in 2007, you know, from the outside looking in, especially for someone like me coming from a system where the total number of wins in your season brought you into the dance, as opposed to a 3-game season at the end of the season, it's a bit more equitable for those teams that are looking for that one final shot. Your former boss, Charlie Vickery, in the state playoffs for the first time since they won it all in 1983, and they do it with a 4-win season. They're playing for district championships this coming week as well. So, you know, in that sense, the district system in Missouri is equitable, and anybody, if they get hot at the right time, can make a statement for themselves in the big dance.
And the matchups, you know, and you can look at systems, you know, you're referring to the Illinois system, but you refer to the Indiana system, everybody gets in. Everybody gets in the playoffs. They're one regular season shorter. They're a 9-game regular season, but everybody goes into the playoffs. So everybody gets an opportunity. You look at our district, you know, set up, you know, 2 of the 4 teams get to move on. You know, once again, that all boils down to where you're at and what district you're in and how that boils out, and if you're getting hot or if you progress as the season goes along. So, you know, I think there are pros and cons to any system and any playoff, the way you put it together. But I think our system is a good system. You know, back when it started with the district, you know, only 1 team got in, and then it's progressed to 2 teams get in. You know, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'd say this year that's a good thing, because if not, we're not in that opportunity to move on. But, you know, I think it's good. I think it's good for kids. I think it's good for football, and I think it's good for athletics, because, you know, it gives you one more round. It gives you one more round of playoffs. It matches teams up against possible districts. And the other thing that is very unique about it, you know, but if things fall into place, you know, there could be a rematch, just like happened last year. Papa Bluff ended up rematching with Sykeston. You know, and that can happen multiple times across the state of Missouri with the present system. Now, do I think that is the best way for the playoff system? Honestly, no. Because, you know, it's not really good to turn around and play another ball club, the same ball club, you know, 2 weeks down the road, you know, that you just played. You know, I don't care if it's Sykeston or Cape or Chaffee and Scott City, it doesn't matter. And I think that would be cross-districting and trying to match up cross-districts. But once again, then you run into the issue of travel. And the issue of travel becomes an economic issue that athletic departments and the state doesn't really want to go down. And I understand that. So we got what we got, and we got the system that we have, and I think it's a good one. Is it perfect? No. But once again, there are no perfect systems.
Well, Cape Central's looking to try and get into this system with a win this week at Perryville, and hopefully Sykeston takes care of its business against Farmington. A couple of pretty good quarterbacks from Tree Lewis and Zach Hibbets. It'll all wash out, and hopefully by the time we see you next week, we're talking week 11 on a Wednesday in the state playoffs. We thank once again Coach Rich Payne of the Cape Central Tigers football program. This has been the Rich Payne Show. I'm Vince Brown, and you're watching Prepcast Southeast.